Hey guys, Amy Jo here with Athlean-XX for Women, and today I'm going to bring you some tips about the wrong ways to train your abdominals and give you some tips on the right way to train your abdominals. All right, let's do it. I have trainer Miranda here helping me, acting as a client. So she's going to demonstrate a few of the wrong ways and the tips that I want to correct. And it's really good for all you visual learners to just see it on someone because there's a few things that you really want to do right. If you want the most bang for your buck out of your core exercises, listen closely. So this decline bench, as you can see, a lot of people you'll see doing reverse crunches on the bench. And when they're doing them, they're arching their back when they lower their feet, okay? So feet up, and then she's gonna lower her legs and she's gonna arch her back up. Big no-no. You never wanna have the hole, the tunnel. You want your low back pressed flat against the bench, and then you want to leg raise. So then if she's gonna leg raise up, now right here, that low back usually tends to pop up. So she's gonna make sure that she keeps her low back flat and then raises them up again, okay? And as she's doing that, she's making sure that she's pulling up with the core and not her back muscles or her hip flexor muscles as well. The other correction you can do to make these a little more effective is bend your knees, okay? So a lot of you, this might be too challenging. So then you would have your knees bent, your heels as close to the glutes as possible, and then you're just gonna tuck in and roll up, and then she's gonna lower her heels and her legs, so therefore her back stays flat. So a lot of times, it's not that you couldn't lower your back, it's just your abs aren't strong enough yet, they aren't developed enough. So bend your knees, that way it takes off a lot of the pressure and you can perform the exercise properly. This can also be done if you're laying on the floor as well. So the other thing too, I'm gonna have Miranda just sit up. Before you're doing any ab exercises, you wanna focus first on vacuuming in the core. Okay, so this is my next tip. Before you're doing any exercises, you can just feel your stomach engage and suck in. It's almost like you're sucking your abs in. You can do it when you're driving, when you're seated at work, when you're at home watching television, but it's almost thinking, here's your spine, here's your belly button, you're pulling them in as closely as possible. So that's kind of the visual. So before you're gonna engage and do any core exercise, you wanna pull in, vacuum in the abs, and then begin the exercise. This ensures that you hit your transverse and your rectus abdominis at the same time, and you're getting the most bang for your buck out of your core exercises. The next one is, I'm going to show you an exercise on the mat, so I'll have Miranda lay on the back. And this one is crunches. We see crunches a lot, and I don't think they're the best exercise out there for your core. I think there's a lot of other ones. But this is also an area where people are using their hip flexors way too much. So I'm going to show you, okay, put your hands over your head and then let's do a full crunch. Okay, so you see how she sits up? This is the proper way, okay? So let's do it with the hip flexors and show maybe what that would look like with hip flexors. And up. Okay, so now she's hunching forward. Okay, you're hunching forward and you're going to use your hip flexors a lot more than if you elongate your core and focus on pulling the abs in, okay? So let's do the wrong way one more time. Okay, it's a hunch and you'll feel your hip flexors being used. And then the proper way, one rep on the proper, posture up. So you see how she comes all the way up and extends. Once again, she's vacuumed in before she even started that exercise, and now she's contracting her abs. The other thing is making sure you're not going too high rep or too high in volume when you're doing core exercises. When you do them properly, you don't have to do that many. If you're squeezing and contracting, if you're starting with the vacuum at the beginning, if you're maybe adding weight because you're more of an advanced exerciser, you don't have to go to 50, you don't have to go to 100. Sure, it's maybe a fun challenge to throw that in, but if you're looking for the most effective way, shorten your volume, shorten your reps, and focus on contractions and form first, and guaranteed you'll get a much better workout. Thanks, Miranda.
Thank you.
Leave us a comment below, thumbs up if you guys have any other tips, any other questions about if your back hurts on exercise or ways to do an exercise better. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you, and we want to know more about what you guys want to hear. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amy Jo. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.